Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of Stiglr for the Details. My name is Alan Dickerson, otherwise known in the wargaming circles as Stiglr, and we're going to continue with our Donau Front exploration. So, let me pop up the screen, and we last left off at the very end of the NATO second operations phase. And before we go any further, I said quite a while back that because I'm doing this solitaire and just trying to use this as a rules refresher and an exploration of this particular map section, I had decided to do away with the placement, supposedly secret placement, of 3 German Verteidigungsbezirkskommando units, as you can see up here. And what these are static defense militia units that can be placed anywhere in a city hex on the map in West Germany. And all they really do is they add 1 strength point to the defense. They can't attack, they can't retreat, and if they're stacked with other units that decide to retreat, they are eliminated in the bargain. So all they really are little speed bumps. But as we have seen the Warsaw Pact do exceedingly well in the opening turn, I'm going to figure that maybe if some of these 3 Verteidigungs units had been placed, who knows, they might have slowed things up a little bit. So I'm going to kind of pervert the rules a little bit. I'm going to place these 3 units now. And, even though, yes, I know where they are, I'm going to act when moving the Soviet players if they are not there, and see if they can't help shore up the NATO defense until such a time as the bulk of the German and soon-to-be following French units have some effect. So since there were 3 of them, I'm going to place 1 here. I'm going to place the second one. It's too late for Deggendorf. That's already been taken. I'm going to place the second one here, stack it with the units here at Regensburg because I know that's going to be important. The third one, let's see, these should probably be at Donau crossings. The third one, I believe there's no city there. Let's place 1 here. Third unit's going to be, well, no. Yeah, they should be placed as kind of good little roadblocks. Okay, so we start here at what could be another Soviet operations phase. But seeing as the Soviets are doing rather well and that we have kind of stretched out some of the artillery units in giving them extra friction points, I think they're going to decide to pass. The German player likewise is going to pass because there probably isn't a lot more they can do. They've kind of got a line here so that they can't get to Regensburg and Pernholz here. There's not much they're going to be able to do about the airborne division in the meantime. So they're going to pass as well. So now we would get to the end of the turn. So what that means is we're going to move into game turn 2. And let's do that by first remembering a few things. At the start of turn 2, we determined at the start of the game that the Warsaw Pact player would enjoy air superiority uncontested through the first 2 game turns. So we know that he will enjoy 12 air points this turn. And here's the marker that said that there is only one more air supremacy turn remaining. There's that. Secondly, the use of chemicals by the Warsaw Pact player will now only grant 2 column shifts to the right in the Warsaw Pact's favor. NATO is slowly adjusting to the realities of chemical warfare and are improving in their equipment and abilities to resist the chemicals. That's the second thing. And the third thing is let's have a quick look at the reinforcement schedules for both sides just to see what's going on. For the Warsaw Pact, I'm going to go down to game turn 2, then find out where the Donau Front reinforcements are. So they're going to get a Guards Motor Rifle Division north of 2053, but only with 3 operations points to expend as they enter. So they're going to arrive late in the turn. North of 2053, which is the very southern tip of the Czech border on the map. So we're going to place those there. Mark them unmoved for now. Let's look at NATO and let's hope that they've got a whole bunch of stuff for game turn 2 because they really, really need it. And we go down turn 2 and we find for Donau Front, yes, we have a lot of reinforcements here, including the 1st French air mobile and helicopter units, and a lot of really nice, beefy Panzer Grenadier units. The 1st Panzer Grenadier Division is sending its 22nd Panzer Grenadier, 28th Panzer Grenadier, a 30th Panzer Brigade as well of the 10th. So these are nice, hardy units, chunky units that are really going to help out. Also, because this is not the initial turn, the NATO units are not going to be defending with their lower mobile combat strengths. So they're going to be defending with their much higher values, such as the 5 up here in Sham is really going to come in handy. Okay. Now, first thing that we do after moving the marker to game turn 2 is, let's see here. Yeah, game turn 2. Warsaw Pact non-artillery, or they are also in auto supply. But actually, the Soviets really have no issues at all with supply by dint of having forced their way through this gap here and through here. They all can trace easily to the map edge, even if they weren't granted supply. The only units that are not in supply are this unit here. I'm going to mark him out of supply. He gets that little blue border, and I will explain soon why that is important. This unit here in Sham is out of supply. This unit here is actually on the Hofgap map and really doesn't factor into things. So let's just kind of rotate him out of the way, show that he really isn't a factor. And in fact, let's even move him there just to make it a little more apparent why he's being ignored. This unit here in Bogan can easily trace supply to this Autobahn, which puts him in supply. This unit down here, beleaguered though he is, can trace this road right out of Passau, and that is a German edge, the southern edge. So those are the only units that have any supply consideration issues. In fact, the airborne division can trace along the freeway right back to that same path here through this rough area, but using the road, they can easily trace back into Czechoslovakia. Now we can test the efficacy of the friction point removal button here. This module has been set up to be able to instantly, for the entire map, apply the friction point removal segment. Let me go over what those rules are. At the beginning of a turn, the very first thing you do is, for all units that are in supply, you flip them over from their white text side back to the solid colored text side. And that means that they are eligible again for the initial friction point, or for the initial operations phase, and in so doing, they also gain a friction point. So basically, all these units here that have moved through last turn, the fact that you can see the white text means that there is one friction point associated with that. So this unit here actually has 2 friction points, 1 friction point here and 1 friction point here. So when I press that button for this unit, the 1 friction point will stay there, but he'll be flipped over to the black print for that. For all artillery units, they get back 2 friction points, because one of the friction points is supposed to be munitions supply. So the artillery units are supposed to be used in aiding combat with direct or indirect artillery support, and so they get back 2 each friction point removal. So this unit here should lose the 1 friction point banner and be flipped over to the non-friction point side. Units, let's see, this unit here, which is cut off and can't trace supply, he will also not receive a friction point back. So ordinarily, if he were not supplied, that would mean that he would be flipped over to the red text side. But since he is at his maximum and the next friction point accrued will kill the unit, he will not even be flipped over to the non-friction point side. This unit is fresh, so nothing will happen to it. So let's make sure that we see that this one goes to black, stays the same here. This one goes to black and also loses that one. And this unit will change not at all. So those will be three key indicators that our friction point button is working as intended. So we will friction point removal phase of turn 2. You'll hit the button, and sure enough, this one retained its friction point banner but flips over. This one loses one friction point there and is flipped over. So that works exactly as it was intended. And this is a huge benefit to the Vassal module for this series, because if you were playing this on a tabletop, you would literally have to go through every combat counter on the map and change something about it. Change either its friction point marker or flip it, or at least flip it over so that you can start a new turn with everyone being able to expend operations points in the initial phase. There we are. All right. So now that we've done that, what is our next phase? Let's consult our rules, make sure we're doing this right. Oops. This is the scenarios, not the rules. Here's the rules. And we go to, here's our friction point removal segment. Now is the air power segment. Warsaw Pact enjoys air superiority without a die roll for one more turn. And now we go to the nuclear attack segment. The Warsaw Pact doesn't think it's going to need to go nuclear. And so we go right to the initial Warsaw Pact player phase. Okay. What are we going to try and do here? We've got, this is going to be a key assault happening here. And if it's successful and they can take Passau, then they're going to get access to both this Autobahn, which leads into the interior, and also they're going to get over the Donau. This would be the first place that they would penetrate the Donau, and also have access to this flat terrain here moving west. Even without the Autobahn, the help of the Autobahn, they're going to have clear terrain here all the way to Munich. So that's an important combat that will happen. The Deggendorf front, that can also be consolidated, and then once Soviet Union's or Warsaw Pact units get across the Donau here, they can start moving up the Autobahn toward Munich as well. Then over here in the north, there's an important battle for Bogen, which would be another access point over the Donau. The battle for Cham here is going to be very important. And then leading forward, the next major objective would be Regensburg and Pernholz over here. This would also be very key. Now we're going to be seeing all of these new German reinforcements coming in here from the west or the top of the map, and they're going to start to form a line somewhere, you would imagine. It's going to be really hard to find a good line anywhere in this area, but they're going to have to try. So let's start with figuring out where the Warsaw Pact is going to try and use these fresh reinforcements, this fresh motor rifle division. Would be great to just put it on a road and just have it fire right through one of these gaps. So they could say enter here and just head right up here, but this is just a main road and is not an Autobahn. But then again, neither are any of these. Let's see. I'm thinking the path of least resistance would to be through here, provided that this Gebirgsunit lasts not very long. Might be better to just fire this unit up this road, but this is a tough unit. They've got not so great Czech units facing it. They're going to get a multi-hex attack, but I don't know if they're actually going to be able to move that unit. But we will see. We can withhold the reinforcements until such a time as we can see how these key strong point battles go. So let's start there. All right. Let's start here in the northern edge and see what happens here. This unit is not in a town. And the next friction point is going to kill it. So let's start here with the Czech 15th Motor Rifle Division. And let's launch a multi-hex attack with these units. Or, well, let's see here. His defense is 4. So it's going to be difficult to get on the far right tables. But what we really need to forestall is a 0 defender result, which would waste the attack entirely. So yeah, let's make the most of this assault and see if we can't move forward from here. So we've got a 8 and 9. That's 17-4. We've got a rocket unit here, which, because he's adjacent, can only use direct fire. But because he's a rocket unit, direct fire is doubled for rocket units. He would also have the option to use additional friction points to add a tuple for every friction point used, up to, I think, a quadrupling effect. But seeing as he already has 2 friction points on him and is about to use a third just by conducting operations here, let's just take the doubling effect and be happy with that. So we've got 8 here, 8 here, 16, and then 9, 25, 25 to 4. 4 fours are 16, 5 fours are 20. 20. That's looking pretty good. Let's get our combat results table. He is in just broken. So 8, 16, 25 to 4. 6 times 4 is 24. So we're at 6 to 1 in the broken flatwoods. We're on column H right now. Okay, we should probably want to bump that up a little more. So we're going to avail ourselves of an air point, which also is Warsaw Pact cooperation, so that we won't have any reliability issues in any of these units deciding not to participate. And that's going to bump up 2 more columns. So now we're on the J column. That's looking pretty good. And we're going to make it a prepared assault, which ensures the destruction of the unit. But as we can see, with a 5 and a 1, we're going to get some results that, let's see, well, would double the results against the Czech player, but in this case, the fact that 1 friction point would kill it and it would still leave 3, that would reduce this to 0. That looks good. J table. Okay, so let's try that. Let me zoom in so we can see better. And attack versus 114 of 4 with 1 air point. And that is Warsaw Pact cooperation. J table. And we're going to go with a that's called prepared. Yes, prepared attack. Okay. A prepared assault is going to cost 6 operations points. And what it will mean is that since we have 3 units here participating in that attack, after the attack happens, only 1 unit will be able to continue on and use the remaining 6 operations points. The other 2 are just going to have to sit there and kind of tidy up, lick their wounds, and all that other kind of stuff. So here we are. We're on the J table. We're on the prepared attack, and we roll the 1. So that means 1 and 4. The first point kills the unit. And leaves 3 more. Where were we here? Hang on a second. Here we were. Leaves 3 more. Okay, so that will also have the effect of, no matter how we decide to play the doubling effect of Czech losses, it would reduce it. So they're not going to take any friction points. All 3 of them are going to flip over, which means 1 friction point, and only 1, well, all of them can, or 2 of them could advance. We could have one of these regiments and the divisional supply. And then after that, only one stack of units can continue to move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to advance these two units to form a stack. This one is going to be done for the turn. I'll flip him. And now these have 6 operations points remaining. Okay, 6. So also this is the first operations phase, so we're not slowed. We don't have extra operations points for every hex entered. Things go a lot quicker. Okay, so we're going to go 2 into the hex there. We're going to go for find a control marker for the hex. There's 2 for a total of 8, and now we have an access road. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, there's that first attack. That went well. Now, what's the rest of the 15th going to do? These units here are not in play. They are past our border here. This is the line of the border delineating the Hofgap map from Donau Front. So these 2 German units are not in play. They are fighting farther north. So the rest of this unit is going to try to get to this freeway here and maybe take Schwandorf and Schwarzenfeld. So let's see, how do we get there best? We could go through this wooded area here, but of course we want our strongest units in front, and these are all artillery assets and engineers. Let's do this. We'll start with this unit. We'll flip it over, expend a friction point for operations. This is 2, 2. This is 3, so 5. Access road and bridge across here. Wait a minute. Started at 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes 6, 7. 9, because that's a city. They don't get a break for that. 9. Then we're on the freeway. Let's see here. We're going to go. Oh, this is a blown hex. So we're going to have to go amphibious or work our way around. Let's see, 9. 10, 11 to go amphibious, and 12 to get into that hex. Wow. That was an arduous trek. Okay, now let's move the rest of these forces and the engineers in behind there. First off, let's move the engineers because they can help to rebuild that bridge. So let's first move them 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they will stop there. Okay, now let's move the rest of the units up to where they can have the best effect. I don't. Let's see. Best place for them is probably in the city itself. Let's move these units here that have the shorter range into the city and closer to the action. Longer range, they can be further back. This one has the shortest range. So let's move it first. That is the access hex side, so 1 to go there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the city, 8, 9, 10, 11, and can't quite get across the river. Take Schwandorf. Okay. Let's move these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the access road. They'll stop there. Okay, this long range unit, and then got this armored unit, which might stack those, might be the best thing. 2, then following the road, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Ugh. No, I don't like that. 2, 3, 5, 6, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Put him control that. Okay. This long range unit, long range artillery will expend a friction point but not move. That will enable him to move in subsequent phases if he needs to, and to participate in combat as well. Okay, there's our 15th Motor Rifle Czech Division. Now moving down here, we get to, this is the 18th Guards Tank assaulting Sham, and then alongside them we have the 53rd Motor Rifle. Let's see, where can they go? They can start setting up over here. So let's move them first. Let's see. Okay. Here's a case of making a move that I can see would be not the smartest thing, but I actually don't, quote unquote, know that this Verteidigungsunit is there. So moving along this road would probably be the best way to get into position over here. So we're going to have the 53rd start to move in that direction along that road. First off, this unit can bypass it and go more directly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Okay, let's see. 7, and he'll stop there. Oops. Then this unit would think the best way to do this would be to go 2, 4, 5, and then attempt to move across this bridge and be informed that this unit is in its way, and he would stop there. Now, realizing we're going to need a good assault, this unit will move 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9. And then the beef here, which also has the rockets. Let's see how close we can get there. Let's see. Got 2 to enter the city, follow the access road, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. Then the rockets will use the access road to make 12. He won't be able to go any further. And now he's leaving a 4-4 unit in its place where they can pretty much better use a 10-4 to make that assault. Oh well, you live, you learn, and that's the value of these little invisible road bumps, so that they can hold up another breach of the Donau and all this area in here. So they have fulfilled some of their potential. Rotate them so that they appear to be moved. Okay, now we get to the 18th Guards tank and what is going to be, whoops, nope, we still have more 53rd Guards units here. So let's see what we can do. Access road is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12 for that unit. There's your 53rd. Now fully moved. All right. Moving. Whoops. No, we still have one more 53rd. Remembered he had to tidy up all of those units. So let's see where he can go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great. 8, 9, 10. Now he can get in position for a better assault on this unit. Wow, this this Verteidigungsunit is going to have 4 steps, I believe. Let's see how many he can get. Control and up. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he's got 5 steps. Wow. That's going to be hard to move that unit. But with a 1 defense, it could go relatively quickly. All right. Now, moving on to the 8th Guards tank, which is going to try and take Sham. This is going to be quite an undertaking. So obviously, it's going to have to be a prepared attack and a multi-hex attack as well. And let's see the condition of these bridges. This bridge is blown, and this bridge is also blown. Okay, so now I want to see if a unit will get a column shift in its favor if any of the hexes have to be, or any of the hex sides have to be amphibiously assaulted, as obviously we have a couple of dry hexes for this assault. So let's go back to the rules and figure out what we have. Okay, let's go to combat, not mobile combat. Combat modifiers is on page 7, or we could do that just by going to the charts and tables and seeing across a river. At least 1 attacking non-artillery is across a river hex side, even if bridged and no engineers included. So they're going to get 2 left. Let's see, 1 left. All or some attacking non-artillery units attacking across river, but there's an engineer there, is reduced to 1. So that's going to be 2 column shifts in the defender's favor. So that's going to help him a lot. Okay, well, let's see what we got. We've got, for one thing, a 5 defense. So this is going to be not easy at all. All right, so we know we're going to use an air point to lob in chemicals, so that's a given. That's going to be 2 column shifts for the Warsaw Pact. That will be offset by the semi-amphibious nature of this assault. So that'll make that a wash. Okay. What do we have for strength? For one thing, we don't have any rocket units that are adjacent, which could be burnt up in terms of friction points and toppling the strength of the unit. They can only add in some. Let's also check that in the rules and see if rocket units can topple in the assault. Let's look at rocket units. Air power, artillery, rocket artillery is on page 10. Let's see what we have there. Counter battery, helicopters and friction points. Where is it? Rocket artillery. In any friendly player phase, rocket artillery may increase their attack strength by increasing the number of friction points they gain. Okay, and that is not subject to the range penalty, where any artillery unit, rocket or not, that is adjacent to the hex gets a double for using direct fire rather than range fire. Okay, so let's say they can take 3 friction points and triple their effect. I can even go as far as sacrificing the unit and quintupling its strength, but that will result in its elimination. It'll run out of ammunition and will also burn up the tubes. I'm really thinking that we need to do that for this. So I'm going to actually sacrifice, burn up this unit, and get 15 points worth of combat effect for it. And I will rotate it like that and flip it, show that it is eliminated. Okay, so that's 15. And then we'll start up here and go around the horn. 15 and 9, 24, 33, 41, 50 to 5. So that makes it 10 to 1. 10 to 1. And that doesn't even add in these units. I think they will participate 57 and make it 11 to 1. 11 to 1 for all these units participating. Two shifts for the air point and chemicals, offset by the semi-amphibious nature of the assault. Okay, let's see if there's no German units that can help in any way. There are no helicopters that can intervene and help in any way. So also electronic warfare is not necessary to use to forestall that. So we have a city. We're at 11 to 1. And now we have a multi-hex attack. So defender, no, multi-hex. For each attacking hex after the first, not counting helicopters or non-adjacent artillery. Okay, so then we have 1 column shift to the right for each extra hex. We'll say this is quote unquote the attacking unit. These 3 are additional hexes from which the attack is coming, and that gives us 3 more column shifts. So 11, that gets us to the main table, which is L table. Okay, so let's say attack on 113/4 paired multi-hex attack, semi-amphibious, and 1 air point used for chemicals, Soviet rocket unit expended. And we are on the L column. After all is said and done, I believe. Yep, the maximum. L column. And here we go. A 1. Prepared L column is 0.5. Excellent. That's exactly what the Soviet player wanted. All 5 are soaked up by this unit, and it kills it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th eliminates the unit. And at no cost to the Warsaw Pact in terms of extra friction points. And then going forward, remember, only 1 unit will be able to continue on. You rotate some of these units to show that they've all finish. Let's see, which unit will we have advance? This bridge is blown, so I don't want this unit to come across. How about this unit? Yep, all of them are large regiments, so we can't achieve stacking by getting any of these artillery units, which don't advance anyway because they're doing indirect fire. All right, so that's 6 operations points. This one can continue on. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Or actually, no, these are a half, as long as they don't go through cities. So he's going to be able to move in there and help seal that unit off. And we're done for the 18th motor rifle. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Here at Deggendorf, this is a good exploit area for the 15th Guards tank. And also I'm thinking for the reinforcements that can enter. They can go to that railhead. Can any of these units use the railhead? Let's look at the Soviet reinforcements. Nope. And remember, they only get 3 operations points anyway. Only 3 to spend. That's just not very good. I still see them moving up this way. So what's the best place for them to enter? Here. Yeah. Okay, so we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll say 1 column enters here, 1 column enters here. So the lead column is the one with the most armor and without the rockets. So this is our lead column, A, and they will enter here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or wait, no, it's a half for the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, stop. They only get 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3. Then following. And I'll take that off. Second column will enter here. This is still access road, and this is a Warsaw Pact friendly town, so only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is still It's Warsaw Pact controlled, but still is a West German town, so it costs 2. And come on. Come on. There we go. Rockets can catch up. There we have that. Whoops. For 48th. And great. I had forgotten last turn to move these assets of engineers and some beefy guards for them. And where are we thinking that engineers might be best used? Maybe, yeah, to repair the sham bridges. So let's start moving those units. 3 to enter that hex. Now using access roads. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 and a half, and that's it. Okay, they're moving up towards there. Okay, that's done. Now we've got our 15th Guards tank and our 103rd here. They should begin anticipating feeling some heat from these German units that are coming. There's really no good place for them to form a line yet. So let's continue taking some more towns. We'll go here. Okay. This is 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. This is along the Autobahn naturally. 4, 6, 8, 8.5, 10.5. I'll stay there. Okay, move the 103rd Airborne kind of out of the way. He's sitting astride the freeway. There's not going to be any help coming that way. So let's have him move up here. 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Move him along the roads and freeways to get here. Here. Stay there. Okay. Now our 15th Guard tank is now free to start the next exploit operations, and I think they should try to get as far up this freeway as possible. Oh, wait, we have more airborne units here. One, two, three, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. Six and a half, 9.5. Okay, that's enough for the airborne. They're not really strong enough to mop up this unit. We'll want to leave at least one there just to keep him from going anywhere. The bridge here was blown. Yep. Bridge there was blown. Okay. We will flip them to give them flexibility to continue moving later in the turn. Now, 15th Guards. Okay. Zoom out a little bit and see where they should go. There's going to be a line, yep, probably along this road. 15th Guards could get the option to simply bypass it and head for Munich if they want. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. Well, these units following up, we don't want them to get cut off. We don't want the Germans and the French to occupy this space. So let's move the 15th Guards tank into this area. All right, so half one, two, 2.5, 4.5, 5, 6, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 10.5. The rocket unit can follow, but will elect to stay in the back. Get too tied up. Okay. There's not a city there. There's not a city there. Half, 1, 2. Oh no, that's not where he wants to go. Half, 1. There we go. 2, 3, 3.5, 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see. There we'll have what amounts to a bit of a Zoc bond there. Let's move these units. 2, 3, 4, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 9, 11.5, 12. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.5, 9, no, 10, 11. The artillery, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll move there. There's your 15th. 48th has already moved on. Okay, and finally we're down here. Oops. For the all-important assault on Passau. So we're going to have another quasi-amphibious assault here. So the first thing we're going to do is lob in the gas. And that also creates the coordination so that we don't have reliability issues with the checks. Okay. All right. We don't have any adjacent rockets, but we can use a toppling effect. And I think okay, I think we're going to double the friction point total on them to have them double their rocket value. So there's that. Okay, let's see. The bridge demos failed. but this unit here is going to make it a semi-amphibious assault, at least some of them. And there are no engineers there. Okay, so let's tally this up. We have 9 and 5, 14, and 8 makes for 22. This is doubled to 8 to 30, 34, 37, 37 strength points to 3. So that is 13 to 1. No, 12 to 1 for 36. And that's a city. Okay, so 36 to 3 is 12 to 1 in a city. We have chemicals, we have multiple hex attack. We have all of that to be able to push it to the L table or the L column. Attack on 224, 1G, paired multi-hex attack with chemicals by air and doubled rocket artillery support. L column. And we get, a 6. That's not going to be good. Prepared 6 L table is 0, 2. So he's got to soak up, because he's a German unit, he's got to soak up the 2 anyway. And that's 6 operations points for all of these units. Well, looks like we're going to redouble our efforts and do the same attack again. So this one will take an extra friction point, or actually 2 more for the doubling effect. This one, all the others will just take an additional friction point. Whoops, no, that's not right. That one, that one, that one. Have to use another air point. And here's one thing to consider. A multi-hex attack finishes all but one unit when it's done. Does that mean that you can't launch a second prepared assault and have to do it each? Yeah, that's probably what that means. Wow. So now one unit can try and assault that thing itself. Okay, let me take 2 friction points off of them, 1 friction point off of them, 1 off of them. Oops. Take 1 off of them, 1 off of them. Okay, starting over. Wow. Yeah, only 1 unit can continue on. So, but these artillery units can participate. Okay, so we'll say this unit in the multi-hex attack, these two units they're done. This is the unit that can continue, and he has 6 more operations points, and he's going to launch the second assault. Okay, so I took off the air point. That'll lob in the gas. This will be... Will this be an amphibious assault? No, because the bridge demo failed. Right, let me see if the bridge across the river hex sides, even if bridged and no engineer. All attacking non-artillery units are attacking one. All attacking. Ooh, that's going to be 4 to the left. Wow. No engineer included. Wow, that's going to be 4 to the left. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. Let's total it up and see what happens. So if we say he's got 9, we have the artillery. Let's have the artillery 9, 12, 12 and 4, 16, 20, 20 to 3 is 6 to 1. That's only here. And then 4 column shifts, 2, 3 to the left. Gets 2 back for the chemicals. E. Wow. Look at that. That is not good. I think they're going to have to wait until next time. Yeah. There's just nothing for it. Wow. Can't stack more than one of those regimental size units. So we'll pick a friction point, maintain flexibility. Or actually, no, they're all 4th tank. This is the vanguard of the 9th. Let's just have them do the bypassing. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 4. Now on the freeway, 5, 6, 7, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11, 12. One, 2, 2.5, 5.5, 6, 7, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5, 12. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5. Whoops, to there. Now the rest is all artillery and Soviet help, which will be much appreciated. So he's going to go off-road. 2, 4. Let's move them with it. 4, 5, come on, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12 along the access roads. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, make it 12. They can stack with them. Rockets, okay. 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 7.5, 8, 9.5, 10. That's as far as he goes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. Our ninth tank, and more front supporting artillery, long range. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5, 11.5, 12. There we go. And we are finished with the Soviet units, unless we want to start using these air mobile units. And so far, do we? We could base them all somewhere else for more devastating operations. But I kind of like the air base there that they're at. And that's going to do it. So we are done with the Soviet half of the turn. And so now let's see what we can do with the Germans. And check and see if I have any comments here. Kilroy was here an hour ago. Great. And let's see what we have. Let's see what we have for the German response. Let's bring in the NATO reinforcements, and we've got a ton of stuff here. But a lot of it with staggered operations points. Let's start with what can simply move on to the map. 22nd Panzer Grenadier Brigade at 10:03. What? Right here. Moved marker off. That. Let's see, what else do we have? We have okay, we have some units that have 11 operations points at, well, let's not get confused. Let's move these guys on first and see how far they can get towards armored units. Some kind of line has got to be formed here, I'm thinking. So let's see how far we can get them down here to at least occupy towns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, no. 7, 8, 9, 10. This unit's going to be in the way. And 11, we'll say 12. Or 11, and then this unit. There. Okay. Now, there's at 1032, we have some units with 11 operation points coming in here. More mountain units, but they're all soft. And then we also have another one that enters there, but only with 8 operations points. Find a note marker. Okay, there's 8 operations points for them. They have 11. Okay. That's all for the eastern edge. Oh, there's more. The 8th Brigade of the 1st Panzer Division also has 11 here. Let's move this on so that you can actually see it. Okay, what else we have? Okay, now moving to the top of the map, we have 1601 with 11 operations points. We have, okay, 2801 with 11 operations points. 2801. These have 9 operations points. These have only 5 operations points. these with them. And finally, we have some French units which enter here. Then we have these air mobile troops with 8 operations points. Some more with engineers and armored units that have 7 operations points. And finally, more units with 8. Move them there. Okay, so this unit has full operations points. This lead unit, these 3 have 8. These have 7. Also, these are air mobile units, so they can use these helicopters to move these decent units if they're not in the open, because then they'll be able to be mobile attacked. So they're going to have to be used in terrained hexes. So at least having a city, one of these red dots, or they're going to become speed bumps pretty quick. All right, let's move down here to this edge and move these units in. And let's see if we can't do some damage. 1032. So the entry hex is here. Yeah, let's see if we can't really do some damage right away by isolating this unit, seeing if we can't do it some damage. All right, so we're going to enter here at this hex. That's a half, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a half. Oops, around the back there, using a lot of stealth. And then we've got the artillery unit, which is going to move in with this other unit and stack with it in front. Then this unit is going to move up here in preparation for a nice combined assault. Hello. This unit has only 11 operations points. And let's see here. He's going to enter here. Half, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5 there. Sorry about my dog yapping. See if he'll be good now that I've admonished him. Okay, so we have the armored troops in here. We've got some units here. What else can we bring on here? More First Guard troops. Let's start bringing them in. Boy, these units are still pretty whacked. The artillery, that's still in good enough shape to start moving along. Let's see. What's the best semblance of a line? Okay. We need a good line here. Okay. All right, let's start building this up. Okay, we're going to move this unit in there. Let's see, the stacking limits. Well, the verteidigungsuniits units don't count for stacking, so I believe NATO can have a maximum of 2. Warsaw Pact can have 3. So we'll move him there. Move him along the freeway into one of these suburban units there. He can't be overrun because of the town. Then this unit will go there. Now we're starting to form a bit of a line. Over here is where we need the most help. So this is where all the rest of the assets will start to go. But we still haven't firmed up this line completely. Okay. Looks like the woods and the towns are still the best modes of defense. Go use the woods first. He's got 4. That's probably not good. No, he's going to stay there. The unit under him will take up that position first. The artillery will enter the town. He's gonna stay there. He's got a lot of friction points to offset. The rocket unit. One and a half, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll join him. Oops, not that far forward. There we go. Okay. This unit will be easily able to get down to Mark Schwaben. All right, so now these units with 11 operations points can move in. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whoops, no, not 12. He has 11. There. It's got 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These have 9 operations points, and they can travel together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 3 units have 5 operations points to spend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now for the French Air Mobile, and then we'll be done. All right, first let's figure out, are we going to use the helicopters to move these 2 units? And the answer to that would appear to be yes. Where can they best be used? Well, let's figure that out after we get the first units on. So this one has full operations points. Now let's zoom out a little bit and just see where best can we use the French. Got a German line forming here. The Germans are trying to get in here, but they could probably use some help. So maybe the furthest we can get in here, the better off we'll be. And I think for air mobile, the French do not pay movement costs. It's just counting hexes. And if they go adjacent to or over a Warsaw Pact unit, then they will undergo air interdiction. But I don't think we're going to ever run that risk. So let's pair the helicopter units up with an air mobile unit each. And they have only 8 operations points to use, even though they have a 30 range for what they're able to do. They have to enter here, so that should be pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. French. Okay, so let's move this unit here. What's his best route to where he can help? It's probably direct through here, down the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're down to 8 operations points for this unit. 1, it's 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this unit will go in behind. And he's got 8 as well. Let's actually stack them. And finally, 7 operations points for the engineers. Seven. 1, 2. Oops. Wait a minute. It's 2801. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Engineers. And that will do it for the French and the NATO turn. So the French have announced their arrival here. The Germans are scrambling to try and form a defensive line kind of along this road. And over here, they've actually managed to set up an assault on the air mobile division. And that's it. Okay, so we're at close to 2 hours, and we've gotten in a full operations phase for each side. So this is a good place to stop. In our next installment, we'll move to the second Warsaw Pact operations phase. And until then, I've been Stiglr here at Stiglr for the Details, and we will see you next time.